Freedom Scientific, a Vispero brand.
So today we are going to be talking about COVID-19 funding and the impact for assistive technology procurement. So, where do you find the funding? What's available out there? How can it be used for assistive technology?
This is another site that I thought was very good. Esf Transparency Portal. I forget what the acronym is.
But it was the Education Stabilization Fund.
There we go. So this is one where, again, on the left-hand panel, they're given, it's totaling up, $189.5 billion in ESSA funds have been awarded to state education agencies. And it breaks it down by CARES, CRRSA, everything that we've gone through. Talks a little bit about gear funding. We'll get into that a little bit later, in some other funds that are out there that are higher education or a governor's education emergency relief fund that's a little bit more discretionary, that adds in 4.2 billion out there. But Mike, if you go to Massachusetts, again, we'll just drill down on Mass here for a second. You can see at the very top level, these are cool dashboards where you can see, the stabilization fund, $4.4 billion. LEAs in the state, there are 429 local education agencies. And it gives some information on institutes of higher education. If we go to the second tab, elementary and secondary ESSER basically fund overview, another dashboard comes up, and this is pretty neat. What I liked about it was you have an overview of the $441 million. Is it 440? Yeah, $2.8 billion awarded. It's telling you how much has been spent from overall, which equates to only 15.4% has been spent. And then it goes by each of the ACT stimulus funds, how much have been spent. So out of the CARES Act money, they've spent about 82.4%. Not even 25% of the CRRSA funds have been spent out at this point in time. And again, these funds, CRRSA does not need to be encumbered, meaning you can still submit, I'm assuming, grant applications or apply for these funds through September of 2023. And again, if we look at the last legislation, ARP, only 4.4% of funds have been spent. And again, you have until September of 2024 to encumber those funds. So there's a lot of time there. Again, I can't necessarily connect you to that money in a way that says, fill out this form, fill out that form, contact this person, contact that person. I think that's your further exploration. I know that each LEA, each state might be slightly different. But again, we're trying to set you on a course that gives you some information, a foundation to know that there's money out there. It can be spent on the services and tools that we all get involved with every day, that we know assist these students in meeting their educational goals. So it's, over to you to start the process to get to that money and apply for that money.
And I just want to take a second, because somebody asked in the Q&A about private agency schools and whatnot. And I did notice on this page here, below elementary, there was an emergency assistance for non-public schools, and then also higher education. So we're not going to dive into those today, but know that from that link, you are able to go and search other types of funds for non-public schools and higher ed as well.
And in that Massachusetts example, I think it listed Benjamin Franklin as one of a grant recipient as their sort of own LEA. I mean, I think they're a charter school within Franklin, Massachusetts. So I do believe, yes, there are other schools. And I think when we talk about higher ed, there's public and private higher ed, institutions of higher ed that have access to monies in each of these stimulus funds.
Freedom Scientific, a Vispero brand. To stay up to date on upcoming webinars and training events, complete the sign-up form at freedomscientific.com/webinars. Thanks again for connecting with us.